Okay guys, so we're going to do example 2 now. And so what I'm going to do for this one, notice that there's a plus 2 here. And so it does change the problem just a tiny bit, but it's not a big deal. So what we have is y is equal to x squared plus 6x plus something minus something plus 2. Okay. Now we almost ignore the plus 2 until the end of the problem. The important part is this 6x, and so how you've probably been taught how to do completing the square in the past is there's a formula, and that formula is you use b over 2 squared. Okay, well b in this case, remember this is ax squared plus bx plus c. A here would be 1 because there's no lead coefficient in front of the x squared. B would be 6 because it's with the x term, so we'd have 6, and then we'd have c being 2, which is our constant term. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this formula rather than draw that picture again, because that might be confusing to you. So what I'm going to do is 6 divided by 2 squared, which is equal to 6 divided by 2 is 3 squared, which is equal to 9. Okay, so we're going to end up adding 9 here. Now, one important thing I want to point out to you is notice that this is positive 3. That's important because that's what this is going to factor as when we do the factoring part for the perfect square trinomial. So I'll show you that in just a second. So we have 9 here, and we have 9 here. Okay, so if we rewrite this on like the next part of the worksheet, x squared plus 6x plus 9 minus 9 plus 2. Well, this factors nicely, and this combines to give us negative 7. And so what this factors as is, since this is plus 6, notice this is a plus 3. Well, we're going to factor this simply as x plus 3 squared. Okay, and it will work that way all the time, basically. Whatever this is, once you divide, will be what this factors as, which is pretty nice because if it's some fraction or something, you can just literally write that fraction and you won't have to do any work. And we have our minus 7 and obviously our y equals. So if we were going to do this one, our h here is negative 3, k is negative 7, and so our vertex, negative 3, negative 7, axis of symmetry, I'll just put axis of sim, is going to be x is equal to negative 3, that's h, x is equal to h. And then if we wanted to graph this, we could simply go like this. We have our graph. Negative 3, negative 7, we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, negative 3, negative 7. We could probably find zeros of this if we'd like, but they're going to not be nice, and the reason I know that is if I solve this, if I set y equal to 0 and solve this, you're going to be taking the square root of 7, which is it's not an integer, and so it will not be nice. It'll be irrational, and you'll have a decimal, and we will have to do a little bit more work. But since we're not so concerned with that right now, we're more worried that you complete the square. We're going to draw the picture just as follows. It might not be completely accurate, but it's something. And then we'll draw our axis of symmetry. It's at x is equal to negative 3. We'll call that the AOS. And so that's where it's symmetric on the left and right of. Okay. I hope this helps.